Hi, I'm Jackie. Do your shoulders get tight? Maybe from surfing like me, maybe from lots of swimming, maybe from lifting weights, maybe from lots of planks and push-ups, maybe just because you're getting older, and we just do get stiffer as we get older. In this video, I'll take you through 8 incredibly effective exercises that will work on their own to free up your shoulders, but if you do all 8 together, it works like magic. It's much more powerful. But any one of the exercises work on their own to free up shoulders. If you have an injury like frozen shoulder or tendonitis, you just have to go very, very slowly, and if you overdo it, you can aggravate. But if you go slowly, over time, you can heal your shoulders to be as free as they've ever felt. So I hope you can put the time in. There's a bonus exercise at the end, which is a really good one too, number 9. For this routine, you actually need a wall, and you need a chair, you need some kind of strap or a broomstick, and if you have a rolling pin, that is helpful, or an umbrella will work as well. For the first exercise, you need a belt or a strap, or a broomstick will work. It's called the broomstick stretch. So it's an old yoga technique, but it's also a physio exercise. So stand grounded through your feet hip width, spread your toes, and then if you're new to this, go very gently just to about there if you're stiff, and if you have an injury, and then release. And start off slow if you're not used to it. I'm used to it, and I have really mobile shoulders from all the work I do on them in all the yoga exercises. So for me, I can go, and it is the morning here, so my shoulders are a bit stiffer in the morning. All of our joints are stiffer in the morning. But don't try to do what I'm doing unless you know you're very mobile and it's very safe. And if you're prone to dislocation, obviously this is not an exercise for you. This is for people with stiff shoulders, which is most of us. So you don't have to go all the way back like I am if you're new to it. You might just go to there and don't twist and bend your elbow. And as long as you feel a bit of a stretch and opening out through the front of the shoulder socket, that's where you'll get the benefit. And you can play around with hands a bit wider and hands a little bit narrower as well. So you do about 8 of them. You can do them throughout the day. It's such a good exercise to make your shoulders freer, more mobile, more flexible, younger. Okay, so that's that one. The next one, you need a wall. But if you're outside on your phone, you could do it like that. Push your elbows back. But the wall is more effective because you get more resistance, because you're pushing back like that, pushing back into the wall. Oh, you hold for about 15 seconds. So the middle of the room is just a bit easier, and there's no resistance. And then release. This is a great one to do throughout the day. So you try to get your whole back of the body into the wall. Check your alignment of your feet, and then you push back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, everything pushing back, especially shoulder blades. 3, 2, 1, release. So 10 or 15 seconds. I just counted quite slowly to try to make it more like 15. And you're trying to push back, especially through your shoulder blades, but everything pushing back. 10. Look straight ahead, slight chin tuck. So you're not arching your back or looking up. You're trying to flatten your back. And then release. 3 will be effective. You could do a couple more. Let's do one more. Push back. 10. I do see a lot of people one elbow's lower. They've got that stiffer arm. So try to get somebody to check you or just have a look. But it is better to get somebody else to see how level you are. Okay, so that's a good one. So that's elbows on the wall. But yeah, you can just do elbows in back pockets that we often do in a lot of my videos too. The next one is called elephant trunk. So I'll have my back to you first so you can sort of see the coordination of right and left. So I'm stepping my left foot forward and I've got my right arm, so my left arm behind me. So that's so you've got my left foot forward, I'm swinging my right arm. So that's what it looks like. And you round out and you tuck your chin and you squeeze your belly. And you can just have the left hand on the hip as well. Or you can hold the left arm behind you. And you're trying to get your right shoulder blade pulling away from the spine. Because the previous exercise, it was actually contracting. So the previous exercise strengthened in the thoracic, this is loosening. You really try to round out, squeeze that belly, because when you contract the muscles in the front of the body, the muscles in the back will release a bit more. Okay. Use your core to lift slowly up. Okay. And just notice the right shoulder blade and the left shoulder blade. Your right shoulder blade should feel a bit freer, your right thoracic. Let's do the other side. So have the right arm, either hand on hip or behind you, the right foot forward, and you're swinging the left arm, elephant trunk exercise. And you're rounding out, squeeze your belly, switching on your core. Try to actually feel the muscles start lengthening and releasing. You might need to take a bit more time. Sometimes your muscles need a bit more time, or repeating the exercises is very effective as well. Slowly come out, switch on your core. So that was elephant trunk. That's a good one to put into your day, especially if you do a lot of work on your back strength and swimming and surfing. So the next one is reverse prayer, elbows on the chair. The window ledge, my window ledge is a good height too. You might have a window ledge that's a good height, or a chair. I'll show you this one. So don't need the rolling pin yet. I'll show you this one on the window ledge, and actually I need a bit of padding because it's a hard chair. So I'm just going to put this yoga mat, but you could put a towel or a blanket if it's a hard, but the window ledge should be okay. So you can do it like this. See what I'm doing here? I'm trying to just sink my chest and get the hands pulling back a bit. Oh, it's good. And you just hold it for about 1 minute. So it could be on the window ledge, it looks like this. So whatever works for you. The kitchen bench maybe, if it's not too low. And you can let your head hold, you can hold your head, or you can just let your head hang a bit. And experiment with getting a bit more intensity into the shoulders and trying to relax into it. You can experiment with hands coming back. It's quite intense. Trying to relax into it. It's a little bit longer. Needs time, this one. Yeah, I'm starting to feel the release now. One more. Breathing into it. Oh, that was a good one. Okay, so, and again, it is good to repeat them, but I'm just going to take you through the 8, but you'll get to know the ones, and as I said, they're all so good on their own, but together, it's just that cumulative effect. Number 5 is shoulder hang. So now we're going to be down on the floor. I'll show you this one. You need to come down to the floor. So I'll show you, if you're a bit stiffer, what this one looks like. This is really good, but it's really intense. So if you're stiffer, you're starting out, you just grab the chair legs like that and you hold it for about 1 minute. If you're more flexible, you put your hands up a bit higher, and that's just not enough for me, but I'm actually quite flexible in my shoulders from, as I've said, all the yoga over the last 30 years. I was lucky to start when I was 20, so my shoulders aren't. If you start yoga when you're older, you do have more stiffness, obviously. Anyway, we're all at our own edge. We're holding for about a minute. So play around with it. And you're just trying to sink down, hanging into it. Actually hanging is really good for your shoulders too. If you have a hanging bar, that's great for shoulder mobility and stability and grip strength and lengthening your spine as well. You can let your head hang a little bit. It's a bit more intense in the shoulders. Or you can hold your head up. Do a bit of both. Final few breaths. So it's really good for preventing the rounded posture, this rounded shoulder, rounded spine, rounded posture. You just slowly bring one arm out and then the other arm out. Oh, that was a strong one, that old shoulder hang. Whew. Okay, this is really intense, but if you're new to it, I'm going to show you how to make it easier, and I'll show you how to make it harder if you're flexible. So if you started yoga when you're older, then you actually get more benefit in your brain because it's so challenging, in your body. So if you start when you're younger, you actually don't get as much benefit because it's easier for you. But this is if you're a bit stiffer, so you clasp your fingers and you put your hands on the seat of the chair and you're trying to get the palms of the hands together, but don't force your shoulders because that's not going to help you. And then, so you're standing on your knees, but eventually, see how I've gone down to actually kneeling, and then I can walk my knees forward. And then if you can't sit, if you can't sit in your ankles, if your ankles are stiff, you can do it sitting on your bottom, but you need to be very flexible for that. Or maybe you sit on a little stool or some pillows or a yoga bolster. So this is if you're very flexible. Don't rush this one. But it's another hold, and you're trying to relax as much as you can. Obviously, it's good for opening up the front of the shoulders, preventing that rounded posture again. So most people's shoulder injuries are stiffness at the front, weakness at the back. Okay, now we're going to slowly come out and we're going to change the clasp to the other little finger on top. Okay, so remember, yeah, I mean, you can just start off just doing it like that, just doing that. You don't have to put your hands up. But sometimes when you got your arms up, you can just kind of rest into it a bit more and hold for a bit longer. But it is good just to hold it because you're actually using your back muscles a bit more. So I think it doesn't matter about putting your hands on the chair, although that is often the way it's taught from the physios. Oh, it's a good stretch. But I think the benefits are that with the chair you just hold for longer because you can just relax into it. But the benefits are just holding like this is it's more strengthening for your back because you've got to use your muscles more and your triceps. So a bit of both. I would do throughout the day, just do a lot of this, especially if you have a desk job. Slowly release. Oh, really intense. Okay, so the next one is the rolling pin, or if you have an umbrella or the broomstick, that will work too. But it's a really intense one as well. So I'll show you with the rolling pin. So it's similar to when we put the elbows on the chair or the window ledge. So see how I'm grabbing it like that? And I'm just trying to sink my chest down. And you can play with the head, holding the head and hanging the head. And it is really intense. You could have also in yoga, we often do it, we just have that block. We're just holding a block. So that's another option. Or just holding the rolling pin or grabbing. And all the variations have different benefits, different effects. But mainly you're just trying to do the exercises, really intense in the shoulders, trying to relax into it. You need to take time. You need to consciously relax and make little micro adjustments if it's just too intense, and micro adjustments if it's not intense enough. We have a stiffer shoulder, so you're probably leaning into the more flexible side. So try to lean into the stiffer side. You need a good minute here, a little bit longer. That will do me. I mean, you can have shorter holds and repetitions as well, which works well. Or just one good long hold. Okay, so there's one more, number 8, and then there's also that one bonus one, which is really good to do. So this is, you can kneel or you can just sit on your chair, and you might need a strap for this one. So if you're comfortable kneeling, you can just kneel. Otherwise, sit up on your chair, and we're going to reach one elbow up like this. Reach up and then bend your elbows and just hold with strength first. And then some of you will be able to, like me, just grab, but don't force that. And some of you'll just drop your strap down. So you could be sitting on the edge of the chair and you can drop your strap down like that. And if you're on the chair, sit on the edge and just work on your good posture and reaching the top elbow up, trying to get your head in the right place on top of the spine. And there's another wonderful stretch for preventing that rounded posture as well. And again, you can have one good long hold on each side, or also it's also very effective to do little holds like 20 seconds, repeat, 20 seconds, repeat, 15, 20 seconds. Or just one long hold for about 1 minute on each side. Let's do one more breath. and then swap, reach the other elbow up. In yoga, we usually just do long holds. It's very calming, but the physios will give you more little holds, and often because the muscle fibers reset, and often it's a bit more, it's safer, and it can be more effective to do the shorter holds. I just love yoga style. I just love the one long hold, and you kind of get a bit more meditative, just focused, stillness. Be really careful, as I've said, with overdoing the exercises, because you can actually make your shoulders stiffer. They're very temperamental. You can easily overstretch and aggravate or cause an injury, which will make you stiffer. So really slowly with these incredibly intense, powerful exercises. Okay, releasing. And we've got one more. So that's 8. But if you can do this last one, number 9, there's an advanced option. But I'll show you an easier option. So the easier option is you just put your hands on the wall or the chair and you do that. But if you can, do downward dog, and if you really can, do a handstand. So I'll show you. I don't think you can see my feet because I've got the camera in the wrong place, but maybe I'll adjust that. So a downward dog, this is the downward dog. But if you can't weight bear on your shoulders, just put your hands on the chair or the wall. Or actually do a handstand for as long as you can. It's incredibly good for strength, along with hanging and mobility. Okay, I hope you can at least do a couple of those exercises regularly, but I hope you can do all of them. I hope you can do this video once a week for your shoulders, feeling your best. You know how important your shoulders are to life. Thank you so much. Hit subscribe. Think about becoming a patron for lots of bonus content. And my online course is really good too. It's cardiovascular. It's dementia prevention. Thank you.